Alright, hello everybody. Let's go ahead and look at a couple problems. Hopefully you've tried to read through the PDF. And here we're going to do some specifically targeted practice problems. I will be trying to make more videos coming up this week. If you need to get a hold of me, this is my email, especially if you have very specific questions. Um, Especially on the Math Excel. The Math Excel stuff is sort of split between Monday and Wednesday type stuff. So if there's problems where they don't give you enough information with the stuff I'm giving you right now, then you can go ahead and not do those. I will be putting up a few like that over the next couple days, so just be prepared. Watch the Google Classroom. Uh, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to find the area of a regular polygon by cutting it up into triangles. We're going to draw the figure, slice it into triangles, find the area of one triangle, and then finally multiply by the number of triangles. I'm going to go super slow with this, explain every step, do a lot of extra just because I think it's important to see where the intuition comes from. But by the time you get good at this, there's a lot of steps that you can just skip and get straight to the point. So let's go ahead and begin. Here's one problem. This and all the other ones are on the Google Classroom in the PDF that I put. So if you want to work along with me, go ahead and pull that up, or just look at it right here and get a piece of paper or what have you. Yeah, so if we look what we're given, first of all, we're given a side and we're given the apothem, and we're going to use these. The thing that is important to pay attention to is that what we have here, even though this is a hexagon, what it really is it's a series of triangles glued together, equilateral triangles specifically. Let's see if I can draw correctly, maybe. There we go. And when you have all these triangles, and they're all the same, when you have all these triangles, what you can do is you can just work with one of them. You don't need to do all of them. You don't need to focus on finding each one individually. They're all the same, and so when you go through and you find one of them, you can count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't draw a thing here because I didn't want to cut through the information. 5, 6 triangles total. So we'll just find one, multiply it by 6, and then bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So let's go ahead and draw the information here on the triangle. So first things first, we have the sides all here are 8, and that's the base of the triangle. And then the apothem, which is the height of the triangle, has a measurement of 4 radical 3, just like this. And then from here, it's literally just do what we did before. You know that the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. And then we're just going to go from there. The base is 8, the height is 4 radical 3, so 1/2 times 8 times 4 radical 3. Just like that, and then we're going to multiply all these numbers together, leave the radical 3 alone. It didn't do anything to you, just let it be there. 1/2 times 8 times 4. When we do that in the calculator, or in your brain or whatever, you end up with 16. And again, that radical 3 just comes right down here with it. Put it right there. So this is one triangle. This 16 radical 3 represents one triangle out of the 6. So if we know that there's 6 of them, all we need to do now is just times 6, right? So the whole thing, the final answer, is just 6 times 16 radical 3. So we just do 6 times 16 radical 3. And then if you do 6 times 16 in your head or on the calculator, 6 times 6 is 36, 10 times 6 is 60, so 96 radical 3. And then just leave it here. It says leave your answer in simplest form, which means don't do anything with this. Just leave it alone. Just write it out as 96 radical 3. If the directions end up telling you to round to the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth, then you would plug this in the calculator, hit the enter button, and then chop it off wherever it's supposed to be chopped off. Alright, now that we've done this one together, I'm going to have you do this one. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want. I'm going to continue on with it in a second. So yeah, go ahead. And we're back. So let's go ahead and do the exact same thing as before. We don't even really need to draw the triangle. We know there's the height 15, there's the base 21.8. So one triangle. Again, 1/2 base times height. And that's just 1/2 times 15 times 21.8. And if we do that, we come up with something. We come up with, I'll just do the math right here. I don't feel like going and running to get a calculator. Half of 15 is 7.5. So we're doing 7.5 times 21.8. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the long multiplication. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we do the second place. We're multiplying by 70, so we're automatically going to put a 0 in there. 7 times 8 is 56. Don't want to have that 4 confusing us anymore. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. And we're going to add down, and remember we have 2 decimal places down here, so our final answer is going to be represented by having 2 decimal places. I'm just going to add 9 times 6 is 15, 1 plus 2, we've got 3, 6, 1, 2 decimal places. And so this is the area of one triangle, 163.5. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. So we're just going to multiply this whole thing by 5. 5 times 163.5. I don't need the 0 anymore. The 0 is just there to make sure that the decimal point went in the right spot, and I'm just going to multiply by 5 here. Again, I'll just do the same thing. 5 times 5 is 25, 15, 17, 30, 31, 5, 8, and then 1 decimal place means 1 decimal place right here. So my final answer ends up being 817.5 units. They don't give us a unit, so we're not worried about a unit right here. So what then? A couple of the problems literally just give you words and stuff. So we've got a nonagon, that means 9 sides. Again, we don't really need to draw a picture. We can if it helps us, but like, you know it's going to be a triangle. You know that the height is the apothem and the base is the sides. So just start out with the triangle. Just cut right to the chase. It's okay. No one will know. 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 of 16 times 22. We're going to do half of 16. That's 8 times 22 is 176, I believe. Yeah, that sounds right. So this is your area, again, of one triangle. And so now this is, it tells you that this is a nonagon. And a nonagon has 9 sides. 9, right? Kind of looks like a G. I don't know, let's clean that up. There we go. Slightly less like a G. So 9 sides. And so the whole thing is 9 times 176. And I'm just going to cut straight to the chase here. 176 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 5 is 68. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. And hey, here is the total area of the whole nonagon. So one triangle out of that whole thing is 176 units, and then 9 of those gives us 1,584 units. Alright, so if you have any questions, again, please feel free to email me. Here's my email right here. You know, most of you know it. Most of you have emailed me. So if you are having trouble, send me an email, and especially if there's a particular one you want done, I can do a tutorial on that one. That's totally fine. Otherwise, have fun. I'll have more of these up later.